Hey guys, it's Mathil here once again, and I've been meaning to do a video that I owe from a subathon type thing for a while now, which is just like an apartment tour and a sort of day in the life of. And I don't really, it's not the type of thing I would have wanted to put out there myself just because I didn't think it was particularly worth it. I don't think I live a very glamorous lifestyle, and it's not worth seeing. But with that said, I thought best place to start would be from this camera angle and showing you what you normally see and then what things look like behind it. So that's basically the entire computer station, office, room. Nothing too special about it. A couple of monitors. The third one isn't being used. It's for the old computer. There's a whole lot of like t-shirts and stuff thrown around. As you can see, my entire prop table for all of the cosplays and stuff has been filled many times, and I've had to throw plenty out. Just the old chair that I chuck t-shirts onto that I finished wearing straight after stream, and another one. So got lots of t-shirts, lots of stuff to throw around, and that's the computer itself. There you go, you can kind of see that. So from there, usually kind of see this, and we back out, and this is the little living area. So I live in an apartment, and that's pretty much all there is to see it. That's the front door. As you walk in from the front door, what you see here is the right-hand side, the office, left-hand side. That back room is my bedroom, and that's the entire apartment. So there's a toilet here. When I, take a little toilet break, basically dip out, go straight into there, make a coffee or tea with that set up over there, and spend plenty of time on the couch watching some Netflix and stuff when I've got time. A few little figurines and stuff, workout gear, training stuff. If I'm not working out at the gym, which is pretty much always, so I very rarely use this sort of stuff. You can see how the sausage is made for the cosplay here, being put together. And then, pretty messy bedroom, as most people my age, or any age I suppose, are, that don't want other people to see the bedroom. Never bothered buying a bed frame, because chucked mattress on the floor and I was like, hey, I like this lifestyle. You can just collapse straight onto the mattress, feels good. There's another bathroom over there. As you can see, that's me, and me again. Lots and lots of clothes on the floor. They're all clean though. And that's my rack of climbing pants, and that's pretty much all there is to it. Dusty bedside table with cat paw prints from when the cat was last here. Nothing really to see in there, just a bathroom. And that's essentially it, the entire place. So if I was to then run you through a day in the life of, here I am, sleeping from roughly, let's just say I wake up around 2 or 3 a.m. every day, maybe 3 or 4. And if I've got a video to make, that means I've got to wake up a little bit earlier. So 2 or 3 is if I'm making a video, for example. We get straight out of bed. There's no messing about, no time to actually laze around or anything. I don't do any of that. We just get straight into things. And what I do is go straight to the kettle, boil that bastard, get a cup of tea, sit down at the computer, and then waffle about for about 30 minutes or so. Probably about 30 minutes of just checking Reddits and forums and all that kind of bullshit. Then start up. Got Sony Vegas 14. The monitor that you always see there is just a couple of programs. All the other programs are on the left-hand side. Start up the Sony Vegas, make some videos after I have done my Reddit or whatever for about 30 minutes. Usually have someone like Quinn stream in the background. Once that's done, render it up, grab a coffee, and then start the stream at usually around 4 or 5 a.m. Once we've done the stream, If I've got a climbing session to go to, I will do that straight after, but typically I sleep twice a day. So I hang about, check a little bit more of the latest stuff on Path of Exile Reddit, check some streams, that sort of thing, then go straight back to bed for a couple hours, but sometimes we go straight to climbing. Now, I probably should have mentioned that a typical stream would last 6 to 8 hours time, and a typical climb during the day is probably about 2 to 3 hours. I do climb every second day pretty much, so roughly 3 times a week, and this is the newest climbing gym that opened up in Adelaide, South Australia, which is where I live. So there's plenty to do at this one, plenty of open space in this gym. It's the biggest one we have, and it's where I'll show you a few climbing videos, just an example of what I do, and it's not the one I work out at all. If I'm going to work out and like for example here, just a few exercises that I'm trying to focus on like one arm training, or front lever training, which I very rarely do. I mostly just climb. If I do that, it's at another gym altogether. So you guys see my stream all the freaking time and you know everything about that, so not much to talk about there, but I will talk you through a bit of the climbing that I do. And at this stage, I'm probably about as fit as I've ever been. I've been climbing for 8 years. The newest gym only just opened up pretty recently, but these newer gyms have really been able to give the opportunity to get a bit better because you can do a lot more climbing. This climb here that I'm on is something like the middle of the pack for grades. It's a red tag grade. Harder grades are then white tag and then black tag, and they work on like a V scale, which you can imagine is kind of similar to mapping. So like V16, unheard of in climbing gyms, won't ever happen. Is basically as hard as it gets for bouldering, and this, for example, is something like a V4, V5. Pretty simple stuff. I'm just showing you how the climbing stuff works. This, for example, though, is a white tag, and it's more on the harder end of white tags. It's a very overhung cave sort of thing, and a lot of these pieces are pretty bad, and the moves are pretty strenuous. I'd call this maybe more like a V6, V7, and I don't really have any examples of the hardest tags in the gym, but they are the black tags, and you can see those examples on my Instagram. So typically I will pretty much finish everything they reset. Once a week they reset an entire wall, and I'll usually finish all of the climbs, including the hardest ones, except for a few cases where sometimes the hardest climbs are still a bit too hard and I've got to work on them for a few weeks or something like that. But honestly, I'm doing about as good as I can be at this stage, being almost 33 and somewhat in decent fitness, but with plenty of setbacks. So about as good as I can be. Would always love to be a bit stronger. There's a few people stronger than me around at the gym, but for the most part, I do get to do everything I want to do in climbing and complete as many problems as I possibly can, and then still get to train a little bit on top of that. Once a climbing session is finished, if it's middle of the day, then I'll go home, have a shower, get a bit of sleep, wake up, grab a bit of dinner. Usually I order in because I really can't be bothered making my own food, and I've got plenty of good places around me. So I eat typically about once a day, one main meal and bits and pieces and snacks around that. Hang around for a few hours, you know, whether it's watching a stream or trying to find a TV show to watch. Or if I've got some other stuff I still need to do, then I'll do that. And then usually in bed by around 10 p.m. again, sleep for a few more hours, wake up 2 or 3 a.m., start it all again. Hopefully that's about as much information as you need to get a real idea of my lifestyle. That's a typical day. Typical every other day, you know, won't have climbing. And then sometimes once a week I'll go see mum just for dinner, or she'll come by for dinner. I'll hang out with friends, usually through climbing, bit after climbing, just if we want to go down to the pub. Otherwise, very rare, sort of other little occasions, birthdays, functions, all that. Pretty standard lifestyle. And that's kind of how I like to keep it at the moment. Very happy with just the routine I've got. And, you know, if we need to shake things up, well, we'll give that a shot too. So I hope you guys enjoyed the look into my life and you're not too disappointed by what you saw. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.